Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by my mate Ramla Ali. Ramla, tough triangles this morning.
Yeah, we did 6. It weren't pleasant, especially because of the heat. I think the heat did us in. It was more sweat than water. Is that a saying? No. I couldn't drink enough because it was just like sitting in my stomach, and then but I was just sweating too much, which took it out of my legs. But yeah, it was tough. Yeah. But we did it.
We did it, and
we survived.
I feel like I'm going to blame the heat for you smoking me on every single one, but we'll gloss over that. But
let's blame it on the heat.
Yeah, blame it on the heat.
No, but do you know what? When you finish like that, it makes you feel good before a fight. I remember when I was in LA, and then you get towards the end of a camp, and then I would beat some of the boys on like the long runs, the mountain runs, and like the long 10Ks that we had to do on a Saturday. It just made me feel so positive and so good. So yeah, cheers for that.
No,
but what was even better was that it wasn't like you were letting me win. You were trying, but then it made me try even more. But it has made me feel good, if that makes sense.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm motivating you during this camp.
You are motivating me for sure.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, we'll jump straight into it. I mean, July the 11th, you're back at Madison Square Garden. Some fighters only fight there once, right? Yeah. I think, is this the second or third time?
This is the third time, but the first time in the main hall.
Yeah.
So the first 2 times that I competed at MSG, it was in the Hulu Theatre, which obviously is still iconic because you get to compete at MSG, but I think this time is the first time that I'll be in the main arena. And it's huge because I went to go watch a Lakers game, I believe, a few months back. MVP treated us to watch the game, and like you walk in and like you just get this like you get like chills down your body, which is good. It's a good kind of feeling. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Does it help? Obviously, we haven't had the fight yet, but where you've done it before, you don't need to kind of mentally have that mental preparation.
Oh, you've already done it. No, yeah. But you always have to have a mental preparation. You got to treat each fight individually. You got to treat each fight as something new. So you come with a different set of mentality for each fight. So you always have to have it. You can't drift off ever.
Definitely. And obviously Leila Furtado,
yeah.
Obviously she's fought Karis Artingstall, Raven Chapman, obviously over 8 rounds, obviously not overlooking Leila at all.
Obviously a lot.
Obviously, I feel like this interview is going to be more you picking up on my, as you do when we spar, when we train, when we're doing the running, my imperfections. I feel like you're going to be picking, like I'm going to say obviously again.
Obviously.
But I feel like that's going to be the tone of this interview.
Sorry, what was the question?
No, so...
my opponent.
Obviously, your opponent, but obviously over 8 rounds, she's fought known people. But go after this fight, is that win this fight, go into a world title or a big fight next? Is that the aim of that?
So the aim was always to never like have. I've been at the ring for a year now. For my own personal reasons. My father was unwell, and I just didn't think I was in the right frame of mind to be getting in the ring. But I didn't want to go straight. I didn't want to go into like a what's it called, a takeover fight. Yeah. I wanted to go straight back into it because you need to challenge yourself. Otherwise, what's the point of training so hard? Do you know what I mean? If someone's just going to fall over in a round, it just makes you feel like your 8 to 10 weeks that you've been training so hard, like, oh God, why? Do you know what I mean? You need something to work so hard for. And yeah, she's tough opponent, and I'm excited to be getting in the ring again. Excited to be fighting. I love not fighting in New York. I feel like it's one of those states that's quite neutral. The judging is neutral. The refs neutral. Even the fans, they come because they just love boxing, and it's nice to be in that kind of atmosphere. you get fans just cheering for you and they don't even know who you are. That's quite nice because it's quite rare to experience that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back in the ring next week.
Definitely, and looking forward to getting back in the ring, but new training team as well. John Ryder now in the corner. I mean, it's a bit of a weird question because I've been around with you week in, week out, but what is it like first-hand training with John?
Do you know what? I really enjoy... John, you're going to get a big head because he's sitting over there. I'm going to sing your praises because you deserve your flowers today. It's honestly incredible training with John because it's like he understands my psyche. A good coach, I feel like, knows how to treat each boxer, and each boxer's mentality is different. Not everybody loves, getting slapped about. I'm not that person. I need a bit of comfort and like, oh, you did well, even if I did shit. I need to leave the gym and the conditioning, the track and all of that. I need to leave feeling good because it sets me up for the day and it makes me feel positive throughout the day. And I think John Ryder just like got that from the first time we met. And even just like how we're training, it's just like training with a mate, and it's quite fun. Like I look forward to training like all the time here. I'm excited to that. Yeah, like I'm really happy to be here in the Matchroom Gym. Do
you think where John's obviously a former fighter, he gets it, right?
I think he gets it.
Maybe
because he was bullied so much as a fighter, so he gets it. He gets like, maybe that you shouldn't bully the fighters so much. They don't need it. I don't know. But I think, because he's recently retired, so I think he understands what a fighter needs, basically.
And then the fight kit as well. If you haven't noticed, Ramla's fight kits, I think, is extravagant the right word? They're
stylish.
They're stylish. I mean, this one, I've been shown the fight kit. We're not going to give any spoilers away, but tell the fans what you can tell the fans about the new fight kit.
We can talk about anything.
Oh, go for it.
It's all right. So, you get to a certain point in your career where everyone's an amazing boxer, and you get in the ring and you're fighting against incredible fighters, and you just want to stand out. And from a few years ago, I just decided I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be known as the stylish one. So I get my fight kits custom made for me by creative directors of major fashion brands. So I've had Christian Dior twice, and Maria Grazzi at Christian Dior, and then I had Burberry, I've had Off-White, I've had Alexander McQueen, and then the next one, so this one, next week will be Versace. So Donatella, before she stepped down as creative director, designed my fight kit. It's definitely one for the archives, because who can say that they've had a one of one designed by the Donatella. It's Larry. So the first thing when we spoke about her making my kit, she's like, how do you want it? And I said, I want it Larry, because that is Versace, innit? It's Larry, it's in your face. And she didn't quite know what Larry meant, so I had to explain it. But it is Larry, and it's exceeded my expectations.
I mean, it is amazing. I've seen photos of it, and Ramla Ali will stand out. July the 11th, Madison Square Garden. Taylor Serrano undercard. I mean, if you don't stand out, who's going to?
Who's going to, exactly.
Where do you keep, obviously, like you said...
Where do I keep them?
Yeah, where do you keep them? Like, do you hang them up? Or
they're in, like, garment bags, so you've got to protect them.
Yeah.
Steam them, garment bags, zip up, and then it's hung up in my wardrobe.
I was going to say, you've not got any on presentation yet in your... I mean, with all your belts and everything like that.
That's just a bit too much, isn't it? God.
That's going to be the Ramla Ali keeps clothes in wardrobe. That's going to be the clickbait headline.
But like it's something that you keep, because like in 50, 60 years time, that stuff's going to be worth a lot. So you keep it in the best condition that you think that you can.
Yeah.
And pull it out in 60 years time, that shit's going to be $100,000. bosh. I'm not going to sell it though, but it's worth a lot.
Just for the pure memories.
Just for that as well.
And obviously, as I said, the fight's on the undercard of Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano 3. You've signed with Most Valuable Promotions and Jake Paul as well. I don't really want to go into why have you signed with Jake Paul and all those things, but it's a bit evident at the moment where boxing in the female code is unfortunately taking a bit of a dip at the moment, but at the moment it seems like Jake Paul and Most Valuable Promotions is the place to be for a female fighter. Is that the way that you're seeing it as well?
Yeah. They're putting on these amazing cards. They're giving women a platform. They've committed to putting me out 2 to 3 times a year, which is like amazing. Obviously I've got other commitments, but like working towards competing boxing is my first love. Yes, I do loads of other things on the side to make some real money, but boxing's my first love, and someone who's committed to getting me out 2 to 3 times a year, it's just like, why wouldn't you sign with them? They've got these amazing partnerships with putting you on big platforms like Netflix. You can't get bigger than that. So they're investing a lot of time, money, effort into women, and I think it's just a place to be.
Definitely. What do you think needs to change? Obviously, because Jake Paul, they can't sign everyone.
No.
Right. What do you think needs to change it for women's boxing to get back to where it was a couple of years ago, or is it a case of just promoters to put the fighters on?
Yeah, I think promoters need to understand. Okay, so like for example, I took a few friends with me to watch Taylor Serrano #1 at New York. That was like during the Met Gala weekend, and they said that they much prefer watching women to men, and I just don't know if like most promoters have got wind of that. Like loads of people love watching women because we're not afraid to. A lot of men dodge, certain people, certain fighters. Like women just want to get in there. They just want to be given the opportunity and showcase their skills and talent. And it's just so entertaining. And I don't know if like loads of promoters have got wind of that, because if they did, like every promoter would be doing what MVP. I think MVP have just, what's the word? Got the blueprint down like to a T. And I think most other promoters need to follow suit, basically.
Definitely as well, and I feel like it sets a precedent where Netflix, the biggest, I'll say streaming platform, but they're becoming a broadcaster now. They're the biggest in the world, and they've got their headline fight is Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano 3.
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about it as well.
Yeah.
I want to move on to things that are more personal to you, Ramla. First of all, I don't know if we can see it in shot, but you are wearing Sisters Club t-shirt, which is your charity. That actually no, I want to hear. I don't want to say. No one wants to hear from me. What is the Sisters Club?
We love to hear from you, Regan.
I mean, not on camera though. This is the Ramla Ali special,
right.
exclusive interview. But what is the Sisters Club?
So Sisters Club was born in 2018. It was born from a place of like, I just realised, there was a lot of women that found it hard to gain access to sport, and they were the forgotten women. So the ethnic minorities, the religious minorities, that's what it was sent, like that's what I sort of targeted. So it basically just started as me volunteering an hour of my time a week to teach these women for free how to box and how to defend themselves. And then over time we started drawing in women who had suffered from domestic violence and abuse, and like just all these women just started showing up. And since 2008, Sisters Club has grown insanely. We now have 4 boxing classes a week. We have a run club, a basketball club and a football club. We have a boxing club in New York, and we have a run club in Florida. And now we look after 3,000 women a month, and it's insane. And not one woman has to pay for a single class, because, I remember what it was like having to choose money over training and not being able to afford to go to training. I once had no money, that I had to walk all the way from my house to the gym, and I lived in Bethnal Green at the time, and my gym was in Peckham, so it was a lot. And I just don't want that for any woman that wants to take part in sport. So we get a lot of funding. For the past 3 years, it's been Lululemon. Big up Lululemon. And yeah, it's just growing and growing, and I just can't be any more proud of where we are as a charity.
Definitely. Is that...
I just want to add, I know I said it's targeted at religious minorities and ethnic minorities, but it's open to any woman. So any woman can come, white, black, Muslim, Jewish. Like it's basically a safe space for any woman that feels uncomfortable training in a normal gym around a man. That's it.
Definitely. How important, especially with boxing, how important is that accessibility level, providing those safe spaces or spaces as well for women to access? Is that the main part of it?
It's so important. It's like I said, sometimes I had to walk so far just to get to training. So it's important to have this access to sport, especially now. Like, more and more people are trying to get into sport, and we just want to show like money should not be an obstacle for you trying to get healthy and look after yourself. Yeah. So yeah, super important.
Definitely. And myself, John Ryder, Craig Richards running the London Hearth, September 7th. Links to Sisters Club will be in the description, and also donation links as well.
If you want to donate, that would be lovely to allow us to continue providing these free classes to vulnerable women. But yeah, it's just super cool to have 3 men showing their support for a female charity. Thank you guys.
No problem at all. And also, you're doing a guest appearance in New York as well.
In New York, yeah. So we have a boxing class that we run out of Mendes Boxing Gym in Harlem, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna be there. So I messaged them, say, hey, any chance? So the instructor's name is Daniela, like amazing little boxer she is. So hey, any chance Daniela wouldn't mind me helping her out in the class on Sunday? And they were just ecstatic. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that, but I'm not going to take over. It's her class. I'm just going to lend a helping hand.
Definitely. So get yourself down. I'll put the links.
If you are
every link to
if you're
that as well.
in New York, free on Sunday at 10 a.m. Get yourself down to Mendes Boxing Gym, and it's going to be a great class.
It definitely is as well. I'll move on to now something that we've spoken about over our eggs in the Brentwood kitchen. Shout out is your journey to the Olympics. Obviously, you are an Olympian.
Yeah.
I mean, what an achievement.
Yeah.
That is as well. But I mean, your journey.
I know. I love it when people say what an achievement, because I didn't medal, I always get down about it. But yes, you're right. Like, it was an achievement, especially. I'm going to steal your question here. I'm going to answer it straight away. Especially because I had to fund it entirely myself. I had no funding. I was competing for a corrupt African country who gave me no money. So any time I did a shoot or any time I did a bit of work, $5,000, $10,000, it would go towards my competition or a training camp. So in 5 years, because remember it was postponed by a year, 5 years I spent almost $300,000 to get myself to the Olympics. So, when I did the ceremony, the opening ceremony, and I held the flag, I was like welling up. I mean, you couldn't see it because we had to wear face masks because of the COVID. But yes, you're right, it was an achievement because it was, yes, it's really hard to qualify, but like on top of that, I had to pay for everything myself. So I don't know if people understand how hard the struggle was.
Definitely, I don't think some people, because there's such a stigma around, like, you need to medal at these tournaments.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah, getting to the Olympics, it's almost deserving of a medal in itself.
Yeah.
But also what you went through, going back to Africa, qualifying there, because I think a lot of people don't realise that you fought for Somalia in that tournament as well. I mean, that, like you said, you get a bit down, but does that make the achievement even, because you kind of done it really outside of the comfort zone? I don't know many people who would. I think some people just turn pro. I think in that situation, but you wanted to be an Olympian, so you made sure you done it.
I remember So this will be in the film about my life.
Which we're coming on to in a minute.
I remember back in 2004 when Amir Khan fought at the Athens Olympics. I remember watching, thinking, I want to do this someday. Like, I would love it if I could have a whole country behind me. You know, it wasn't meant to be. I competed for GB, even though I had won the nationals and I should have been given an opportunity to trial. You know, that just wasn't written in the cards for me. But I remember saying to myself, like, when the times got really hard, do it for that girl. Do it for the girl that wanted to go to the Olympics. And that's what I did. And yeah, it would have, like, I was pro at the time. And a lot of people said, you know, don't go to the Olympics. Like, you've already got off on, like, the right trajectory as a pro. What if something happens and then you don't? I said, I don't care. I'm going to do it for that girl. And I did. And I went. And obviously I didn't qualify and I was down about it. But you're right. It was an achievement to get myself there. So, yeah, I should pat myself on the back.
You should, and if you don't, we all will in the gym as well. I mean, you mentioned your movie there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm incredibly excited for this to come out. Jasmine Jobson from Top Boy fame plays yourself as well. I don't want to spoil anything that's going to be it, but yeah, tell me about the film. When's it going to be out? When can the world see it, Ramla?
So obviously the film is about my life, being born in a war-torn country, to getting myself to England, or my family, to then boxing, and then to getting to winning the Olympic the African Championship, that's where it stops. Obviously you see bits of me competing at the Olympics, but like, I think the main gist, because there's so much life story, it was just so much to put in. I think the main focus was my story. And yeah, it was filmed last summer. Jasmine Jobson plays me. She's an incredible person, the best person you could like ever like. She's just got such a big heart. Smokes like a fucking chimney though, but she's got the biggest heart. She's amazing.
That whole bit about Jasmine Jobson might not be in this interview, but we'll pick it up because
okay.
I think it was already at 23 minutes.
Okay.
But Ramla, we'll close it off because I feel like in this interview we've already said so much. My final one, we ask everyone this question.
What does boxing mean to you?
Yes, thank you. Fan of the content, Ramla Ali. What does boxing mean to you, Ramla?
Boxing is, when I was younger, boxing gave me a safe space. When I used to get bullied in secondary school, I'd walk into the gym and I would leave all my troubles behind and I'd just be into this whole new world. So yeah, I think boxing means so much to me. It gave me a sense of belonging, and that's all I've ever wanted.
I mean, Ramla, that is one of the best answers to that question. I'll leave it there. Enjoy training. Always
Cheers.
a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bosh.